The three best weapons load crews on Edwards Air Force Base meet in Hangar 1830 for a professional skill set showdown that promises a lifetime supply of honor, glory, and bragging rights to the one team that promises 3 full months of honor, glory, and bragging rights to the one team that proves they have just the right stuff to become the 412th Maintenance Group Load Crew of the Quarter. Today's competition features 3 fighter aircraft maintenance units facing off in an extraordinary lineup of the ages that only comes around about every 90 days. Let's meet the crews. In Hangar Bay, corner number 1, it's today's first challenger, loading the F-22 and representing the 412th Raptor aircraft maintenance units, weighing in at a combined 520 pounds with 12.5 years experience across multiple airframes. It's Crew 1, led by Staff Sergeant Brandon Outwell, Senior Airman Jason Jones, and A1C Yukari McDowell. And in Hangar Bay, corner number 2, it's your second challenger, loading the F-35, representing the 461st Lightning AMU, weighing in at a combined 525 pounds with 14.5 years experience. It's Crew 3, led by Staff Sergeant Kyler Wilson, Staff Sergeant Eugene Washington, and A1C James Duffy. And finally, the team representing the defending champions, loading the F-16 and fighting to keep the traveling trophy with the 416th Falcon AMU. It's Crew 8, led by Staff Sergeant Robert Alvarez, Staff Sergeant Alvin Hinahan, and Senior Airman Clayton Douglas.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Load crews, are you ready?
And with that, the action begins and the teams scatter. Each crew member now begins performing the individual assignments that are standard for their specific numbered position within the 3-member crew. The one person oversees the load. Think of them as the manager. Now, if you're new to the sport and not sure who's who, well, first of all, welcome. And don't worry, the ones are easy to spot. They're often seen checking and double-checking their computer and discussing the load's technical requirements with their teammates. It takes strong communication skills to make it as a one. The 2-person prepares the aircraft to receive the munitions. You can find them with a handful of tools as they go from wing to twist, turn, and pry, all the screws, nuts, and levers to the exact standard specified in that trusty laptop that the ones never let leave their sight. Usually. The 3-person prepares the munition. First, they inspect the impulse cartridges before handing those off to the 2. Then they conduct a thorough, multi-point inspection of each weapon to be loaded. There's a ton of steps and even more pressure to rush through it, so attention to detail is a key trait of any good 3-person. In fact, getting these inspections done right is just as important as doing them fast.
Time is one of the criteria, but it's not the only criteria. So just being the quickest team to complete your load doesn't necessarily mean you're the winner.
Although speed isn't the only thing that matters, it does matter. And as of right now, Falcon has a lead in that pace race as they're first to complete munitions prep. Now Falcon moves on to fire up its jammer, filling the air with noise, exhaust, and excitement. As the first straps unfurl to secure the GBU to the jammer, the crowd comes alive. Their cheers and taunts add a welcomed liveliness and sense of normalcy to the event.
This is really the first competition that we've had with an audience since COVID's began. So we're happy to be back in that and being able to have not only coworkers but others that may not see the day-to-day activities of the weapons personnel.
Back on the hangar floor, Falcon, with its GBU secure on the jammer, lifts the bomb and begins heading towards the F-16. Meanwhile, Team Lightning takes a different approach, opting to load the much smaller AIM first. Since the smaller and lighter AIM doesn't require a jammer, they simply scoop it up, cradle it real snug, and march 3 abreast right to the F-35's mount point. Falcon has its GBU on the jet now, with the double team working to tighten it down. Although coming out of munitions prep, it was Falcon with an early edge. By locking in its aim right now, Lightning strikes back and is first to get a weapon fully loaded. But the 416th crew is right behind, ratcheting the finishing touches to lock in its GBU. As Falcon and Lightning transition to their second weapon, the crowd knows it's a tight race, and they're right there showing lots of love as Lightning 1 and 3 begin loading their GBU on their jammer. Of course, swapping weapons means swapping tools, so Lightning 2 splits off to make sure he's got the right ones for the job. Back at the 16th, Falcon is approaching with its aim, using a single file shoulder carry technique rather than the side-by-side scoop and cradle method. Lightning has its GBU attached to the F-35 now, but Falcon continues to hang tight with its aim already on the jet. Now remember, finishing the load first isn't everything, but it's certainly not nothing. So with just a few bolts left to tighten down before double-checking all the specs and returning the tools, this will certainly be a fight to the finish. The 461st Lightning AMU finishes first and asks for a stop to their time. Although the loaders have loaded their loads, before a winner can be named, the judges have to inspect their work. So in the meantime, the crowd and the teams step outside the hangar and enjoy another, albeit much more lighthearted competition, a good old-fashioned jamboree. After the jammer shenanigans, everyone returns to the hangar and awaits the official announcement of the winner. And it's a shocker. Despite being second in time, they're first overall. The 416th Aircraft Maintenance Unit defends its title and once again earns the right to be called the 412th Maintenance Group Load Crew of the Quarter.